Hello. Today we're going to talk about sleep. We tend to think of sleep as a time when our mind and our body shut down. In fact, scientists used to think that when people drifted off to sleep, that their bodies would go into this shutdown mode or some passive state and just kind of like shut down totally. But we've since learned that that's not true at all. In fact, sleep is very complicated. It happens, so much is happening in our body when we are asleep. All right, so what is sleep? It is an active period that's necessary to restore and rejuvenate, to grow our muscles, to repair tissues, and to get our hormone levels balanced throughout our bodies. We spend nearly a third of our life sleeping, so it's got to be pretty important. Going without sleep can literally make you psychotic and would eventually kill you. There was a study done on rats where they were depriving them of sleep, and within 2 to 3 weeks, all the rats were dead. Now, obviously, they can't do that study on a human. We can't see how long humans can stay awake before they die. However, there have been studies that have shown with just 24 hours of sleep deprivation, people can start having hallucinations and other psychotic episodes. So sleep is very, very important. Let's talk a little bit about what happens during sleep and why it's so good for us. So, sleep promotes healing. Now, when you close your eyes and you fall asleep, your brain can attend to other issues that are going on in your body. If there's areas that need healing, the brain can trigger the release of hormones that can encourage tissue growth and that can repair your blood vessels. It helps wounds to heal faster and restore sore and damaged muscles. While you sleep, your body can make more white blood cells that can attack viruses and bacteria and can help with the healing process. Sleep also causes the body to release hormones that can slow down our breathing and relax muscles throughout our body, which in turn reduces inflammation and assists with healing. Sleep can also lower our risk of heart disease. One factor of heart disease is high blood pressure. So when you sleep, there are less demands on your heart, and your blood pressure will drop, and your heart gets to take a break for a little while. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, getting adequate rest each night allows the blood's blood pressure to regulate itself. So if you're having trouble with blood pressure, maybe check and see if you're getting enough sleep. That really could be a factor. You also lower inflammation in the body when you sleep. There's a link between getting adequate sleep and reducing inflammation. Without sufficient sleep, your body makes fewer cytokines. I think that's how you pronounce it. Cytokines are a type of protein that targets infection and inflammation and helps to create an effective immune response in your body. These cytokines are both produced and released during sleep. So if you're not getting the sleep you need, not only are they not being released, they're not even being produced. So that's kind of like a double hit on you there. Also, a study in the World Journal of Gastroenterology suggests that there's a link between sleep deprivation and inflammatory bowel disease. So sleep can also, or lack of sleep, can also affect your gastrointestinal tract. You get a stronger immune system when you sleep. Your immune system relies on sleep to help fight harmful substances. When you don't get enough sleep, your immune system is not able to properly work to help fight off infection from your body. Also gives you a boost of energy. When you sleep, the demand for calories is decreased, so your body is able to replenish and be ready for when you're awake. Other benefits include better performance, intensity, more energy, better coordination, and better mental functioning after you get a good night's sleep. Weight, which is this one I found really interesting. When you sleep, the level of hormones that make you feel hungry or full fluctuates. If you don't get enough sleep, your hunger hormone levels, known as, I think it's called ghrelin, Grelin, if you want to look it up. So that's your hunger hormone levels go up, and your full hormone levels, called leptin, go down. It causes fat storage to get out of whack too, if you don't have enough sleep. Also, not getting enough sleep increases insulin resistance. So all of these things can lead to overeating and to obesity. So it's best to get a good night's sleep to keep all of those things aligned properly. Getting a good night's sleep can help have a positive attitude. When you're awake, you have many demands on your brain and your body. These demands decrease dramatically when you go to sleep. So your body and mind can focus on restorative tasks and get a break. When you wake after a good night's sleep, your hormone levels, your energy levels, and your stress levels have all been adjusted for a more positive day. Depression can slow the recovery process and is more common in people who sleep less than 7 hours each night. During sleep, the body is refreshed and more prepared to face the challenges of a new day instead of feeling defeated and stressed. Sleep also enables the brain to clear out toxic products that are produced when we're awake. Some research suggests that sleep is a time when the brain sweeps itself clean. There's brain cells called glia, G-L-I-A, whose name literally means glue, and were once thought to be largely inert, but have been recently discovered to have a range of functions. One of these functions is it controls the flood of let's see if I can say this right. I know I can. Cerebrospinal fluid throughout the brain. So what this does is it cleans this fluid out. It kind of washes this fluid, helps wash things out, and it clears out our waste, our brain waste. Our brain waste from while we're sleeping gets cleaned out. All right, learning and memory. Sleep plays a major role in the brain's connectivity and plasticity. Plasticity is involved in learning and memory function. As we go about our day, our brains take in incredible amounts of information. Rather than being directly logged and recorded, however, these facts and experiences first need to be processed and stored, and many of these steps happen while we're asleep. Overnight, bits and pieces of information are transferred from more tentative short-term memory to stronger long-term memory process called consolidation. During your REM sleep, your brain consolidates and processes this information. You generally enter REM sleep about 90 minutes after falling asleep, and each REM stage can last up to an hour. An average adult has 5 to 6 REM cycles each night. It's very important that we get through these REM cycles that we need. Researchers have also shown that after people sleep, they tend to retain information, perform better on memory tasks, and have better concentration and productivity and better overall cognitive function. Plenty of evidence suggests that losing sleep can cause problems with memory, particularly our working memory, which allows people to hold information in an easily accessible way while working out a problem. People who are sleep deprived struggle with choosing what to pay attention to and have trouble regulating their emotions. A recent study in the Journal of Child Psychology and Psychiatry showed that children's sleep patterns had a direct and major impact on their behavior and academic performance. Sleep also affects your social and emotional health. Sleep has been linked to emotional health because someone who does not get enough adequate sleep is more likely to have issues with recognizing other people's emotions and expressions. So your emotional empathy is less when you don't get enough sleep. The association between sleep and mental health has been the subject of research for a long time. Several studies have shown that there is a direct link between lack of sleep and depression. One study examined patterns of death by suicide for over 10 years and concluded that lack of sleep was a contributing factor to many of these suicides. Another study suggests that people with sleep disorders, such as insomnia, are also much more likely to show signs of depression. So, how much sleep do we really need? Well, adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. So when you say, are you getting a full 8 hours? It's important that you are getting that. The average amount of sleep that adults get in the United States is about 6 to 6.5 hours, which is well below the 7 to 9 that our bodies actually need. Teens. Now, teenagers actually need 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. And let's take a minute and let's talk about teenagers because I see this working in the middle school. I see this a lot. And, it plays such a critical role in them staying healthy, feeling happy, maintaining good grades, and doing well in sports and in school. You know, sleep isn't really something teenagers are all that interested in. They want to stay up late, they want to play on their phones and play games. Um, and it's really important for us as parents to look at their electronic use and to make sure that they're not staying up into the wee hours of the morning playing games and on their cell phones. There's been the increased amount of screen time during teenagers has been linked to insomnia, depression, and suicidal thoughts in teenagers. And that's scary because they are spending a lot of time on their screens. Um, it's just the presence of electronic devices in teenagers' lives. It's not going anywhere. These kids are going to hang on to these, but it's very, very important to understand how it's affecting their sleep and how their lack of sleep is affecting their overall life. All right, so let's talk about school-age children. These are 5 up to the teen years, and they need 9 to 12 hours of sleep each night. Preschool children that are 3 to 5 need 10 to 13 hours each night. Toddlers who are 1 and 2 years old need 11 to 14 hours. And infants is broken into 2 categories. You've got your 0 to 3 months, which need 14 to 17 hours of sleep a day. And then you've got your 4 to 12 months who need 12 to 16 hours every day. And that seems like a lot of sleep, but you got to look. Children are acquiring their language, their social skills, their motor skills, and they're going through all of this learning so fast that their bodies need that time to recover. And as well as the number of hours that we need, the quality of sleep is also very important. You might be having poor sleep if you're waking up a lot in the middle of the night, or if you've been asleep for 7 or 8 hours and you still don't feel rested after you wake up. If you have interrupted sleep, if somebody, like in my case, my husband gets up and goes to work in the several hours before I get up. And so interrupted sleep, someone with a newborn baby has interrupted sleep quite often. And so these are things that, can interrupt your sleep. So there's a couple things you can do. Taking naps are really good for you, actually. If you could take 2 naps a day that are like 30 minutes each, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, that would really help. Also, if you can't do maybe 30 minutes, just a 20 or 30-minute nap mid-afternoon is really good for you. Now, unfortunately, if you are sleep deprived, you can't just sleep and make up for that time. Getting the sleep will definitely help. It'll help you feel better, but you're not going to, not sleep for 24 hours and then go sleep for 16 hours and make up for it. It doesn't work that way. The best sleep habits are consistent, healthy routines that we set for ourselves and to make sure that we meet that sleep level that we need every night. So how can we get a good night's sleep? There's many factors that are involved in getting a good night's sleep. We have environmental factors, we have emotional factors like pain or anxiety or stress. People who are stressed, often they'll go to bed and their minds just don't shut down. These are some things that can keep us awake. Other things are comfort. So, like mattresses are important, good pillows are important. Some other things you can do is think about going to bed around the same time every night, spending more time outside and being more active during the day. Fresh air is really good for you. It's good for your body. Activity, burns those calories and makes your body feel like it's more able to rest. Reducing stress as much as you can, whether that's through exercise, through talking to someone, having a hobby you like, find a way to reduce stress. Go to sleep in a quiet, dark room. Also, cooler temperatures can also help you get better sleep. It's also important to have fresh ventilated air that's free of allergens and free of dust. So a nice, clean, quiet room with air. Like some people sleep with fans on. I know we have an overhead fan on that we like to keep on just to kind of keep airflow going in the room so you don't feel like you're in the stale air environment. Taking a relaxing bath or shower could help before you go to bed. Also, limiting blue light. And again, I'm going to talk about the whole blue light things. These are your computers and your cell phones and um, your TVs and all of these different electronic devices that we use. They can actually suppress the release of your body's melatonin, which melatonin is the sleep-inducing hormone that your body naturally produces. And what happens is you have this blue light, and so it messes up your system as to when it's night and when it's day. And so your body's internal clock kind of gets messed up. And the more time that you spend in front of electronic devices, especially in the evening, the greater the delay of your release of melatonin, which is going to make sleeping a challenge. You're either going to have trouble falling asleep or you're going to have trouble staying asleep. So, in this age of technology, everybody wants to be on their phones and on their computers, and they're really just not that good for you. And limiting that time is really important for sleep, especially limiting it in the evenings. All right, let's look at some Young Living products that could help you sleep. Well, I'm just going to go over a few of them very quickly. One of them is a supplement called Sleep Essence. So Sleep Essence helps you fall asleep and it helps you stay asleep. It has a natural melatonin and it has different oils. And you could take 1 or 2 capsules 30 minutes to 60 minutes before bed. And you could do 1 or 2 based on, you're falling asleep, but you just need to stay asleep, or 2, like you just absolutely can't sleep and you need help. This isn't something that you would have to take every night. This is just, you take these to help you when you're having trouble sleeping. There are also some oils that we have that are really good to help you sleep. And these can be put on you. They could be put in a diffuser. You could, smell them, cup them in your hand and smell them. You could make like a spray or a spritz and spritz your pillow and your sheets with them. But some of the main oils are lavender, peace and calming, Roman chamomile, stress away, vetiver, valerian. Some of those are really good oils, just kind of help you relax and help you sleep. And we have what we call roll-ons, or pre-made roll-ons. And we have Stress Away, Rutavala, and Tranquil, which can all just be rolled on the bottom of your feet, or rolled on your neck, or rolled anywhere that you feel like you want to roll those. So there are many oils and supplements that could help you. One of the things is to figure out why you're not sleeping well, and then kind of try to find ways to help that. Like if it's stress, Stress Away, Cortistop, some of these other products may be really good for that. If it's something as much as, you have an uncomfortable mattress, you have an uncomfortable pillow, you don't sleep in a dark room, some of these things you could start experimenting with and trying to fix in your own home, trying to figure out the cause of why you're not getting that good sleep. But sleep is very, very important. And if you're struggling, I would love to work with you to come up with a plan to help you find what helps you sleep better and what helps you sleep through the night. You have a great day now.